It's the first Monday in the month of grace, and it's time for Faith Capsules powered by the Shaper's Act. This is Wanola Adetayo, the Shaper. Our scripture for today is taken from Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 8. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God. It has been proven that the numeral 5 is the number of grace. To this end, we will devote ourselves this month to grasping in details what grace offers us and how we can maximize the benefits. Let's start by looking at facts about grace. Fact number 1. Grace is not earned, nor can it be boasted about. Ephesians chapter 2 verses 8 and 9. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. The implication of this is that the more grace of God in our lives, the more humble we should become. That's the reason we were admonished in Romans 12 verse 3. For by grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. Fact number 2. Each of us has a portion of grace. Every child of God has his or her own allocation of grace as determined by Christ. Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 7. But to each one of us, grace has been given as Christ apportioned it. It is by grace that spiritual gifts are allocated to God's children. 1 Corinthians 12:7. Now, to each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. Fact number 3. Grace gives you victory over your weaknesses. 2 Corinthians 12:9. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. The implication is that I can no longer excuse away my weaknesses, because I am empowered by grace to stand on Philippians 4:13 to declare I can overcome my weaknesses through Christ made perfect in my weakness. Fact number 4. Grace has a throne. Hebrews 4:16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. The implication is that grace is not thrust upon people. While salvation is by grace, we must approach the throne to obtain it. The sovereign God will not override man's will. We must reach out in our hour of need so that God can supply the needed grace in that time or season. Samson reached out to God in his hour of need, and his strength was restored. The woman with the issue of blood reached out in faith, and she obtained her healing. My friends, in this month of grace, I urge you to seize your power of choice and approach the throne of grace to become the best version of yourself as a gift to Christ, to God's kingdom, and to your loved ones. Till I come your way again next week, this is Wanola Adetayo, the Shaper. Shalom.